Genius in Heroin chronicles the lives of the famously talented in all fields: artists, musicians, writers, sports figures, politicians, and even scientists who entwine their genius with some form of self-destruction and ruin. I wrote the book because I wanted to answer the age-old question, or take a look at the age-old question: is it genius that creates their torment, or is it torment that creates their genius? What is the price of brilliance? So I examined the lives of over 500 brilliant minds and saw if their choice of drug, or their choice of poison, so to say, how it affected their work. Amedeo Modigliani, his passion to create superseded even the detrimental effects of the drugs and the alcohol that he was using. He basically traded his paintings for a bottle of liquor or an inhalation bag of ether and died destitute, while today his recent painting sold for $32 million. Jazz musicians, you could identify by the ones who weren't using heroin during the 50s. They believed that it was something that made their music more sensitive. Hampton Hayes, another jazz musician, supposedly had watched Charlie Parker shooting up and said they all wanted to get whatever that was, that grease in his veins, to be able to play that well. Alcohol seems to be like one of the occupational hazards of writers in some ways. Some statistics show that there's only one group of workers, that's bartenders, that have a greater fatality rate from complications of alcohol than writers. F. Scott Fitzgerald, for example, a notorious drinker, and he managed to squeeze out 100 words a day under tremendous hangovers. So in a way, it's even more admirable of his work that he was able to do this under this physical torment that alcohol and drugs actually cause. He was able to still have this great passion and this genius that he almost had to write, regardless of the circumstances. So the things the drugs and the alcohol that many artists, musicians, and even scientists and politicians and military leaders that I found use certain types of lubricants, believing that it was helping them. It was allowing their genius to free themselves. Ultimately, some of their work was inspired by it, but it ultimately destroyed their lives and stole their genius in the end.